Chat! Chat! Ayo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, 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 I'm in the stream, bro. It's done. We won. GG's, it's up, bro. It's up. GG's, it's up. Ayo, thank y'all for coming out. We on Twitter Spaces running it up. Yo, shout out to y'all, deadass. We on stream tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Playback.tv/Legend of Winning. Thank y'all for coming out. We peaked at like 800 plus people in here. Much love, much love. I'll catch you on Twitter Spaces, bro. Now on to the Twitter Spaces. Now on to the Twitter Spaces. Chat! Chat! Like I told y'all. Like I told y'all. First and foremost, before I even really get into my bag, let's let it be known. Lakers were down basically all game long. Lakers were down basically all game long. All game long. At one point, I want to say it was a 16-point deficit in favor of the Wolves. Karl Anthony Towns, 15. 15-point deficit in favor of the Wolves. Karl Anthony Towns, cooking, wheeling and dealing. Gotta give him credit. I got to give Towns credit. He was great tonight. 24 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, 8 for 12 from the field, 6 for 6 from the free throw line, forcing double teams, was a presence all game long up until the second part of the third, entering the fourth because he got in foul trouble. As soon as that happened, that's when the Lakers took control. The Lakers turned off the water on Minnesota, held them to 12 points in the fourth quarter and 4 points in the overtime that we should not have been in, but I'll get to that later. Because even though we won, I'm not completely pleased by what I saw tonight. Not at all. But shout out to Towns, amazing. Shout out to Mike Conley, amazing. 23.7 from 7 for 11 from the field, 6 for 8 from deep, clutch 3, or at least clutch a couple of threes actually, clutch 3-point attempts that he got fouled by somebody that I will touch upon. Went to the free throw line, hit all 3 threes. Great game from Mike Conley. On the other side of the ball, LeBron James. My goodness, in the second half, were you magnificent. Forcing it down the throat, making the reads, making the plays, finished with 30, 10, and 11. Anthony Davis, I'm going to give you your flowers first. 24 and 15, 3 blocks, 4 assists, 2 steals, 10 for 19 from the field. What I am more impressed with, though, was the defense. Not only from AD, but from Vanderbilt. And even LeBron in stretches. The rotation, the physicality. But of course, the player of the game for the Lakers, Dennis motherfucking Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder. The numbers don't even really point out. 21 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, but made the biggest shot of the year. Corner 3, get the Lakers the lead. Should have ended the game there. Even in OT, made proper reads, got to the free throw line as well. Player of the day, player of the game, in my opinion. Great effort defensively as well. Immaculate screen navigation. But I will not, I cannot allow this to escape me because I have to speak about it. That is one of the worst wins I've seen this entire year. It's playoffs. I'm not here for the semantics. Oh, well, we got a win is a win. No. We about to go into 7-game series where adjustments will be made. And it seems like there are things in which the Lakers still struggle with that I've been screaming to the top of my lungs all year long. D'Angelo Russell. Nigga, I don't give a fuck what you did in the regular season. 1 for 9 from the field ain't gonna cut it, nigga. Troy Brown. Make your shots. You're a shooter. That's why you're out there. 1 for 5 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3 ain't gonna cut it. But Anthony Davis, two names I have to bring up. Anthony Davis and Coach Ham. Anthony Davis. Nigga, you blowing me, nigga. There's no way. There's no absolute way that you are as great as you are defensively and you keep making the same mistakes. They need a 3. You defending at the elbow, nigga. Who are you defending? Pick somebody up. They need a 3. Again, how are you this great defensively, this sound defensively, but you don't understand not to foul a 3-point shooter? Are you insane? The other part of it, Towns is in foul trouble. Congratulations that you participated in putting him in foul trouble because FYI, that nigga was cooking the entire Lakers team that first half. No Gobert, no Naz Reid, no McDaniels. Now Towns is in foul trouble. They have no other choice but to put Kyle Anderson on Anthony Davis. Kyle Anderson on Anthony Davis. Brother, you know what this nigga... There's no way. There's no way. Why are you not aggressive? Why are you not attacking that? Why are you floating around not being present at all? LeBron is 38 million years old, nigga. He should not have to be creating and operating for everyone. But the reason why he has to is because even when Davis gets the ball in the post, then that nigga's awareness is on negative 1,000. The amount of open looks that other players had and Anthony Davis had no sense of awareness to pass them the ball, alarming. The fact that Anthony Davis cannot read defenses out of the post and he's in year 11, alarming. The fact that Anthony Davis can't set solid screens, that's alarming. Those little things tend to be the difference maker. Anthony Davis, for the caliber of player that he is, for the level of attention that he receives, he should be much more fluent making reads out of the
KB, don't
post,
bring
reading
anyone
the
up yet.
defense.
I want Lo to finish. All right, go ahead, Lo. Are you done?
Hold on. Way more fluent at making reads. That nigga's been in the league way too long. But part of the reason why this nigga struggles at it is this fucking menace on the sideline named Darvin Ham. We was watching this on playback, right? And we was sitting there, us niggas who don't get paid to coach. We don't watch nowhere near as much basketball as these niggas. We have no idea. We're not paid to do it. In the middle of the game, you know what we thought to ourselves? Yo, why the fuck is Vanderbilt not in any sets? Why is he not setting any screens? Why is he not involved? Why is it that Darvin Ham just has him roaming around near the baseline or standing in the corner? Why is that? And you know what happened? With 4 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, Vanderbilt got involved in his first pick and roll action. Niggas got straight to the line. Straight to the cup. Mind-blowing that Vanderbilt can be out there roaming around, no actual impact, and nobody on the Lakers sideline understands, hey, get him involved in action because he's looking like a negative when he just stands over to the side and he's basically a nothing burger. To Darvin Ham.
Are you done now, Lo?
To whoever it concerns. When the Lakers go to the Memphis Grizzlies, that nigga Triple J is going to turn that nigga. He's going to turn it back on Jared Vanderbilt. He's not going to be concerned with him. Karl-Anthony Towns is fucking cooking the Lakers, bro. There's a 4 or 5 minute stretch in the second quarter where Towns was straight cooking the Lakers. Maybe the third.
How was the second? It was the first 4
Second.
minutes.
Lo, nobody cares about this, bro. Can we move on, man?
This nigga had Winnie and Gabriel defending him. Got Anthony Davis and Jared Vanderbilt on the bench. Ham, I don't know why I can look at the game and somehow make better rotations than you. I don't know how I can look at the game and call things out before it happens before you do. That's your job. 82 games I didn't watch you troll, nigga. 82. We going to the playoffs. That nigga keep trolling. I want him to lose his job immediately in the middle of the series if it's worth it, nigga. Because that nigga was trolling tonight. Then he started coaching in the second part of the third quarter, in the fourth. The defensive rotations were there. Defensively, what I saw of the Lakers is what I want to see moving forward in the second part of this game, bro. And also,
disagree.
That nigga Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Wait,
We gotta bring
not
Tweet up.
him. I don't know what to tell you.
Wait, stop. Let me bring Tweet up. This is what I've been waiting for. Let's bring Tweet up.
Not him.
Ant-Man. Wait, Tweet, good day.
Yo, chill. It happened.
I need to talk to Tweet.
Not him.
Ant-Man.
He had a bad game. He got, you feel me? Get another off season.
No,
gonna get right.
No, I don't want to hear that, bro.
Let him get an off season. Let him get conditioned. He gonna get right. You feel me?
Condition for what, nigga? We at the end of the year.
Well, to be fair though, Lo, the nigga took a hard ass.
Eli, I'm gonna bring you up. Stop spamming me,
nigga. He was already
I want
playing
Tween
poorly
to
before
cook,
that, bro.
No, he was, but then that just doesn't help on top of that. But he was.
It happens, man. You seen them double teaming low key every time he had the ball.
Nigga, I'm not tween. I'm not making excuses for
the only time they say doubles is when they did a premature switch and they had reads on him.
That's that gravity, bro.
Bro, he didn't want to take on a Dennis Schroeder switch, bro. He didn't want to drive, bro. This nigga was unserious today.
That nigga's not serious, bro.
Bro,
and that can be your franchise player. I'm just happy it's not mine, nigga.
Yeah,
that
wow.
playing performance I've ever seen in the last 2 years.
saying this while Cat outplayed the supposed top 10 player Anthony Davis. I
Ain't that crazy?
If I were you.
Hey, get off me.
Get
off me. Listen. I've been waiting not even patiently type shit, because this niggas had shares all year. Niggas just don't pay attention. But I've been waiting for niggas to see who this nigga really is, bro. Niggas really called this nigga a riser based off 3 games, bro. 3 games in the playoffs. Nigga had 3 good games.
Who you talking about, D-Lo?
I'm talking about Ant,
Talking about
nigga.
Ant.
Oh, okay.
Bitch ass nigga, man. Listen, bro.
You talking about Jimmy Butler?
Damn, you thought.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
you thought that was so funny. You thought you ate. How about you, nigga thought that shit. Nigga thought that shit was funny. Like nigga has more. That nigga Jimmy has more 40 points.
Not as hilarious as Bam was today.
Yeah, he was bad, and I said he was bad. Like
They were calling that nigga Biz
you
Magnificent.
trying to be
Low.
you
I
trying to be
lost
funny,
the
my
bonus
nigga.
allegations, man.
You
I
trying
lost the
listen,
war.
niggas is talking while I'm talking about a whole different
He won the
thing.
battle though, Ash. Don't worry.
Like this nigga low. Shouldn't you be taking your fucking nightly trip to fucking Kroger, you bitch ass nigga? Also, you should be taking a fucking job, you fat ass nigga. Let me get my point out. Anyways, as I was saying, that nigga is a niggas can talk about the injury, and I know he kind of banged up. You feel me? So I'm not gonna go too crazy, but like him being banged up don't got shit to do with this nigga being like such a fucking terrorist ass decision maker, bruh. At times, bruh, this nigga is one of the dumbest basketball players I've ever watched, bruh. Like, and also like to be this athletic specimen, this bursty big linebacker sized wing or whatever. The nigga is so jump shot reliant, bro. It's so nasty. Like you can drive more, nigga. Why don't you drive more? I don't understand it. Like y'all was trying to put him in combos. He just don't belong in.
We beat the Ant allegations. The Levine fan base
Yo,
beat him.
Eli, do you know why he doesn't drive every
Tween Levine won the allegations.
He doesn't have a Jimmy Butler whistle.
Hey, not yet. We need Levine to drop 30 tomorrow. Don't worry.
He's not getting them calls.
Listen, bro. I'm being so serious, bro.
Man,
Niggas was saying everything under, and it was Low too. Low was saying this nigga better than Paul George. This nigga.
To be fair, it's not like Paul George be getting to the rim, nigga.
You know,
if we're
both them niggas were not getting.
I'm about to say PG don't be getting to the rim either.
No cap.
And PG is actually an elite fucking shooter, nigga. That's the fucking difference, nigga. And is a good shooter, nigga. Okay, bro. 40% on 8 40% on 8 threes is an elite, guys. You guys heard it from the marvelous basketball mind, KB. That shit's not funny. That will shit is annoying, nigga. It's never funny.
Why
And it's
are you
always
getting
a
so
bad
emotional?
troll.
Hey man, relax, bro. Nobody care about Paul George, man. Relax.
That's what I'm saying,
weirdo.
bro. Like,
it's not a niggas love to say they trolling, but this shit was unfunny. Like, get a fucking life, you loser ass bitch. Anyway, yeah, that nigga, stop putting that nigga in these combos. Like this nigga has not cleared the Zach LaVine talks. This nigga has not
cleared. Nigga, work, bro. Levine is in
Ash,
different.
I don't even know what you worry about. This nigga Levine finna drop 30.
Listen. Wait, no, I'm getting really sick of this shit, bro. Mustard, man, they gonna find out real soon. Wait, let me not even jinx it. Let me not even.
I'ma say it, nigga. Levine finna drop 30 tomorrow. We finna smoke the Raptors, shitty ass team, and we gonna advance, and we gonna smoke the Heat too.
Like real shit. Niggas be trying to. I remember, bro. Niggas was like, "Would you rather 5 years?"
And we coming from them boys in Miami.
Fuck them
best
niggas.
believe it.
Cool. Who cares? Anyways, niggas was like 5 years down the line. Would you rather have Ant or Tatum? A nigga who's a proven MVP candidate or Anthony Edwards? Y'all niggas are disgusting, bro. I'm being real.
Bro,
I'm being real.
Eli, I'm not gonna let you.
I'm being real.
Who was comparing Ant and Tatum?
I'm being so serious. Nigga. 5 years down the line, I'd rather have Mobley than this nigga. Dead ass. Mobley's gonna be better than
Tatum. But that's not a crazy take. That's not crazy.
That's not crazy. That's not crazy.
Nigga 21 third in DPOI voting, but you niggas want to dick eat. That nigga.
Yeah, that's not that crazy at all.
I never said that wasn't crazy. That wasn't.
Nobody said that was crazy.
Nigga, low key. Cade.
I'm not gonna lie, Lo. I got.
Cat's not even Cade. I'm taking Cade, nigga. You already know I'm taking that nigga.
Shit, Paulo.
Cade got a better ceiling.
Paulo.
Lo.
Yo, good.
I gotta talk to you some more, bro. I mean, we talked a little bit, but how do you think, like, after watching this game, these niggas will fare against the Grizzlies? Like, cause what I saw Vando get played off the fucking floor. I saw them niggas willingly switched Austin Reeves onto Karl Anthony Towns. I also saw like
that was the end of the game though.
I know, but that's still not that's not acceptable, bro.
Well, they can switch them if you put Reeves on DB on Dylan Brooks, and then you have him switch. Anthony Davis is roaming off of him, so it's cool, boy. Ain't that a big deal?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, Lo. It's Grizzlies in 6.
Y'all walking into Dylan Brooks
I'm keeping
County,
it 100
nigga.
with you. It's
You better
Grizzlies in
come
6,
out
my
right.
nigga.
You better come out right. You
Grizzlies
gonna
in
get
6.
smoked.
To answer, to give you an actual answer tonight, but these are concerns that I've had before, which is why when Jay will be saying he be thinking I'm trolling, but I dead ass serious. Like everything I've said the other day about why I don't think that the Lakers, even if they get past the Grizzlies, they're not going to beat the Warriors, is because of things that happened tonight. The awareness
Yeah,
of
because I low-key was wishing y'all lost. I'm not gonna lie, to see y'all go against big, the Joker, because he would have fried this fucking defense, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
The thing is though, because the reason why like a team like the Timberwolves or Nuggets or like the low side the Warriors, because like as POA awareness and just off ball like movement offense is pretty much is the issue, right? But when it comes to like Memphis, their offense isn't like the greatest, even though they already have like Ja, who's just a great offensive player. And
Yeah,
Triple J is not like the type of guy to where he's cat, where he's like where he's gonna be taking you like off the ball like that. He's strong, he can get to like his spots, he can force his way down there, but like there's two different offenses in the way they
Who are you
operate.
talking about?
I'm talking about Triple J, and just the way that.
Triple J been doing that this season though.
But I'm saying it's not gonna be to Cat better than Cat or to Cat's level.
I mean, he's just not a better offensive player than Cat.
Exactly.
Like I agree with
and on
that.
top, that's what I'm saying. And on top
Bro,
of that, it's
let's be
two
real, bro.
different.
Triple J was
It's
doing
nigga. You hear me
Triple
talking,
J was
bro.
doing that shit on Zach Collins.
Okay, so I'm gonna finish my point, and then you can talk. But bro, like I was saying, it's two different offenses, and I think the Memphis Grizzlies are a little bit more stagnant, to be honest. That's all I want to say.
That Steven Adams loss is gonna hurt them too in a matchup like this.
Yeah, that will hurt them as well.
Nigga added nothing more afterwards. Anyways, like I was saying, I think Triple J is taking steps as an offensive player, Alma, but like sometimes we, especially like post All-Star break, we use like limited stretches of games and like point to like real explosion, right? Like I think Triple J is a better offensive player, and his touch has been activated. He's been hitting his shots more, right, and he uses his handle to like punish mismatches a lot of times, right? But Triple J is not just like he's not really a like a uber great self creator right now. Even though like he had a stretch where that seemed like the case. A lot of it was against like a lot of it was against shit teams. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like it was really like a good thing, right? Like Eli.
Wait.
What?
What?
I'm saying like it's a struggle for them, right?
Y'all niggas trolling, bro. What
right,
the
Eli?
I don't know what's going on, bro.
Trying to be funny, nigga.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm
Anyway,
not trying to be
so
funny,
I do.
Eli. Like
I do think Jaren
corny,
Jackson
I just
Jr.
don't know.
Like you dead getting.
I just don't know how like a grown like man can like say like after like every sentence like.
It's not a grown man.
17.
Ash, you did not have to do that shit.
It's
I'm not
funny.
gonna lie.
I did.
You know,
I had to get
I
my.
don't think you
that was
realize
insane.
how
That was
unfunny that was.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
not trying to be
no,
funny, brother.
Can we-
I'm telling you to
so
fix
Go
the
to
grammar,
Swiper.
bro.
Like you
Guys,
get
let's
no
just talk
pussy.
hoops. Let's talk
Go to
hoops.
Swiper.
You get no
Go to
pussy and
Swiper.
you broke as
Fix his
fuck.
Can we
speech,
not do
Shout
that
out
right
to
now?
You
Dennis
get no
Schroeder.
pussy
Guys,
and
can we
you
talk
broke
hoops?
as fuck.
Dennis
Fix his
Schroeder.
speech, little
Okay,
bro.
so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Swiper because Swiper was
Fix his
talking.
speech,
Wait, the
little
Lakers
bro.
only had 2 fouls in the second
Niggas got
half?
cut
What
off.
the fuck?
Goods is fighting through this shit. It's crazy. But Swiper, it's on you, bro.
Nigga
Yeah,
gonna
I was
say he
just gonna
gonna
say
shut up because it's not the
I
co-host
think
talking.
that Anthony Davis and Jaren Jackson matchup is going to be feeding families, man. I think that's going to be a great defensive matchup. I'm really excited to see that. But I'm not gonna lie though, bro. I am way less. I mean, I was already not on the Lakers bandwagon, but I am way more off that bandwagon for multiple reasons. From LeBron to Davis to the rest of that roster. I do think that it's going to be a good series, man. But I absolutely see a world where the Grizzlies are up 2-0 by the time they get back to LA.
But did you genuinely think that LeBron played awful today?
No. But his defense was bad. But no, he
Yeah,
wasn't.
his
He
defense
was
was
good. He was
genuinely
good.
bad.
He played
Like
a
that
good
shit
game.
was terrible.
Yeah,
He
but
did
you
not.
tweeted
He did
he
not
was
rotate at
very,
all,
very, very bad.
Yeah. His
Not
first half
on
was awful. His first half
His
was
first
awful.
half was awful. Yes, it was.
So I'm pretty ejected about LeBron. That's my goat, but I understand. I get it. But I will say that I think that the Lakers are. I think they have a good piece. Man, I'm not even trying to troll, bro. They were struggling that much versus that team, and they just, the Timberwolves did the same thing they did in the Memphis Grizzlies series. They were just trying to give the game away multiple times, and then the Lakers kept giving it back. And they didn't. I don't think the Timberwolves ran a set for the last 14 minutes of that game. It was just.
I think they tried to. I just think that because they kept going in and out with Towns because he had the fouls.
And then when he came back in the game,
the rhythm was completely gone.
Couldn't be aggressive.
Couldn't get in.
But then they didn't have.
You have to get into actions to run sets. Like they couldn't get into anything.
Right.
Well, and I think Carl was clearly being affected by the fifth foul, and to the point where he became like a robot, where he just didn't want any physical contact whatsoever.
Be aggressive after that shit
at all. Like even getting position in the paint, like he couldn't. He was just floating on the perimeter, and then on top of that, Anthony Edwards, I do think because of the shoulder injury, I've never seen him play that well, so I'm only chalking that up to the injury. I mean, for me, at least.
You never seen him play that bad?
No, not like that.
But you know what he meant. You know what he meant.
Not like that. Yeah, not like that. Where he was just not being.
This might be his worst game. Like,
bro, he was dribbling the air out the ball.
Are you sure
his
about
worst
that?
game?
I don't know if I've ever seen him like this.
Considering the circumstances,
like since he actually became like a competent player.
But I will say this about Ant. One other thing he has to, one thing that I feel like he could take away from this game, rather, when he watches the film, he's got to start, like, for the off season, because this season will end, whether it's in the first round or Friday, they're not going to be playing basketball for long. He's got to figure out how to be, he's got to learn how to post up. Like, he's got to learn how to get the ball in different areas on the court. It can't always be perimeter oriented, because what the Lakers did was they made sure they showed him two bodies all night, no matter what. There was always somebody in the gap. And he just couldn't, he had no answer for it. Like, he couldn't even, too often, I was watching him not even be able to get downhill to try to play make or to try to put pressure on the rim, anything like that. So he's going to have to figure out how to get touches around, like, the posts and stuff.
I'll be honest with us. I think that Vandal just did a good job, like, denying a lot of the spots that he wanted to go to. Like, Vandal today, especially late in that fourth and OT, was blowing up so much screen action, bro. It was, like, insane. There was one time where they just tried to get, like, a little screen off for, I think it was between Conley and Anderson, I believe. And he just, like, I'm not talking about Anthony, by the way, but, like, I'm just saying, like, Vandal just...
I'm not attributing that to Vando's defense. Like, Vandal did play well, but... And he was getting defended by
absolute zero on offense goods.
Yeah, he was like Vandal was out there enough for me to like.
I understand that he was. I understand that he was hurt, right? But like in his shoulder, but what does your shoulder being injured have to do with you like constantly dribbling into traffic? With you like constantly making
that's an Ant problem.
The passer, like that's just who that nigga. I'm not trying to be mean, but. That's just who that nigga is half the time. Like, bro, like not like that. Not
I think he would have played better. Granted.
I literally just said not this bad. Obviously.
Yeah,
but this nigga is fairly like the decision making awards show up relatively often. Like at least in comparison to like some of the players in the upper tier, like he's supposed to be in. Right, he's an all-star. Right, he's a star according to a lot of people. Right, so. There's that.
I mean, yeah, but he'll be able to. This is an all-time stinker for him. Just flush it. But all season definitely work on figuring out just creating your offense from different areas on the court and not feeling like he has to be perimeter oriented because it's not. It doesn't bode well. Especially when you're guarded the way he was guarded tonight. And I mean, hell,
another thing that nigga got no in between. That nigga got
no in between game.
Yeah, that nigga.
I disagree with that though. Like when he
shoots like 33%.
I didn't say it was great. I'm just saying like that's if a shot he'll take.
And the nigga has no floater touch, nigga.
Yeah, the floater is true. Go ahead. But the midi, he just didn't get there. Like
I think he's too strong. He's too strong. He doesn't know his strength yet.
Taking them bitches and shooting 33% is not having an in between game, dude.
I'm not gonna lie. It's just fucking 20%.
No, but the real
these niggas win this game.
Yeah, the real issue though is that they were playing Kyle Anderson.
That nigga make 3 more shots.
Not if they had Naz Reid or Rudy Gobert in this game, they win the game because they would be securing rebounds and they wouldn't just be giving up complete.
Yeah,
like
Nas.
especially in that third
Nas,
quarter.
if Rudy's dumbass didn't punch a teammate, they would have won the fucking game. This is
Here
on
West
Rudy.
go hating on Gobert, bro.
No,
He's
but
a
the thing is
bitch.
though,
He not even
sitting here
hating. He's
like
just
acting
saying
like
that
I'm
to the
hating.
fans.
He
Gobert would
did
have
some
been crashing
dumbass
the
shit. He got
boards.
suspended.
Gobert would have
Bro was
also
playing.
been
If he
able
was
to
on the
get
court,
Cat off of these defensive
if
problems.
he was on the court, bro,
Like,
Damn, bro.
they would have
Bro, imagine.
manned the boards a lot better and second chance opportunities a lot better, easier baskets, so many fucking things. He's a bum, bro. Like he's a fucking
Wes,
Because
how
bitch.
did
they would have a roller.
Imagine,
They didn't have a roller outside of.
imagine playing through injury. A nigga knows you're playing through injury, calls you a bitch
Exactly, and calls you a
during the game,
bitch.
calls you a bitch during the game, and you're just supposed to be like, damn, bro, I gotta think
Imagine
about the
sucking a
play again.
grown
My
man's
man.
dick because
But
he
then
made a
if it
dumbass
was like,
decision.
if it
He's
was no,
emotionally
no, no, no.
unstable.
Mind you,
So I'm
Kyle
a
Anderson
bitch.
had a
Then,
back
then,
injury
then it was
earlier
like,
this year too,
if
bro.
Gobert would have been
You
like,
freak
damn,
ass
if
boys,
Gobert would have
man.
been like,
You freak ass
if it
niggas,
would have
bro.
came out, oh yeah, bro, Gobert
That
let that
nigga's
nigga
an
call him a
NBA
bitch to his
veteran.
face.
He's supposed
Niggas
to
would have been
be a
like, ha
supermax
ha ha,
player.
Hey,
And
Low, are you there?
that's
bitch ass
unacceptable,
Yeah,
Frenchman.
man.
That's
here.
what they
I
want.
realized
What did
I
you
don't have
think
a
about
phone.
Anthony Davis today? I missed all that.
My biggest takeaway with AD is just I'm just like thrown back by the fact that somebody can be a year 11 and not have the ability to like be aware enough for where double teams are coming from and
oh my
making the proper
god,
reads. Not picking out his spots when Towns was on the bench and not being aggressive enough on Kyle Anderson defending him at the 5. I mean, obviously the horrible decision that he made down the stretch of game where you fouling a 3-point shooter. The defense all around though was still immaculate. Great. I think he did really, really good. I think him and Vanderbilt when he was on the floor, but really, regardless if Vandal was there or not, I think Anthony Davis did a really good job roaming, switching, and putting him on Kyle Anderson, taking him off of and how do I we were saying this in the space as well, or in playback in the stream, taking him off of Towns and putting like Rui on him or Vando on him and having him play either Edwards or Kyle Anderson, knowing that Anderson isn't going to be a quick shooter, so he can recover quick enough to contest if he's going to pull, but more than likely Anderson doesn't have a quick trigger, so he can kind of sag off of him and roam a little bit more. Those decisions, to be fair to Darvin, was really great, and in those moments, Anthony Davis was really great as well. I was just really upset though that like, I mean, it's something that I believe is way bigger, a way bigger problem than I think people realize, and that's just Anthony Davis just struggling to find any type of rhythm in the post because he doesn't know how to properly read.
bro, he has the worst
double
facial
teams.
awareness out of any
I
superstar.
mean, it's atrocious.
You
It's
said
so
what?
bad. I said he
But
has like
out
the
of
worst.
who?
He has the worst awareness like out of any superstar big. Like
Superstar.
Any superstar big.
Yeah, like AD. Like even if you don't want to say he's a superstar, any star big,
All right,
pretty much.
respect it.
The guys who are like the guys who put him in like
Embiid?
no, he's not. It's worse than Embiid.
I think it's worse than Embiid. Yeah.
It's worse than Embiid.
I just think the difference is
Yeah, Embiid is definitely
I think
better at that.
I think the difference is that Embiid will just like dribble pull up on a double and he'll make it like 45% of the time.
Well,
so
yeah,
like,
that's his counter.
Good
decision.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he has so
he
the
has
difference
something to counter
so
that.
the
And on top
difference
of that,
is
there's
I'm not disagreeing with you, right? I agree.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's not a matter of spatial awareness. That's just a matter of like.
Oh no, I'm agreeing with you, Eli. That's not. I'm.
Yeah.
But and to be fair to Embiid, and really to be fair to Doc as well, they like we're saying they addressed that by just flashing him at the free throw line, and him being quicker with his sets.
Yeah,
maybe if AD can make a jumper,
AD's not quick with it at all. Like he's you can actively see he's trying to process what's going on when he gets the ball in the post because he's not aware of what's going on. He doesn't know how the double team is coming. You can like actively tell he's trying to process what's happening.
The thing is,
in AD's defense, he did make a few like relatively snappy like extra passes.
No, he does it every now and then, but for the most part, it's just.
But he had like a good 2-3 that were flat out fumble. That were like layups.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, though, Darvin doesn't put him in like sets too to help recognize where doubles are coming from easy. Like we said about Doc, about him flashing and beat at like the free throw line, so that like it's easier. He can see the whole floor. If we have him like on the like mid post on like the in like the corners, on like it's gonna be hard for him to like see where the doubles come from, even though he's trying. Right? He's already like a poor decision maker as it is.
He didn't
So
really get that many reps.
That's the problem is that he doesn't get enough reps. So even if they wanted to, because at this point, Embiid is just at a point in his career where he's gotten enough reps where Doc Rivers can just work within his strengths and weaknesses, and that's where you come with I'm going to flash you at the free throw line. Anthony Davis has always been face up, floating near 3-point line, long two face up type of a game, and so when it's time to post up and the double team comes, he's never had the reps enough throughout his career. And then the way that they attempt to do it, I think the way that he really does it is that when the ball does get thrown to him at the post, instead of like being able to seal in his man and accept the ball in the post without giving up any positioning, what he'll do is he'll actually go towards the ball, get further away from the basket. So when he does grab it, he can look around, and the double team takes longer to come, and he just has a better visual of good vision of the field to know where the double team is coming from. But he has like no feel at all for post presence whatsoever. He just doesn't.
I think
And I think that's really that's gonna be detrimental to the Lakers, even in matchups when they go up against, even if they make it past the Grizzlies, going up against a team like the Warriors, where they're really great at like doubling and disguising where the open man is at. Like he's gonna struggle against that every single time.
I
Also,
appreciate that.
you said something that I found interesting. You were like, LeBron shouldn't have to create for everyone, but like that is the reality, right? Like not
Yeah,
all
he's
the
gonna
time,
have to.
not having a, but the reality is that the Lakers have like they have a bunch of solid like I won't even say connectors because they don't necessarily fit that description, but guys that have like connective skills, whether it's like D'Lo, it's like shooting off of handoffs and like the passing, or it's like Dennis and it's like slashing. Maybe
I'm
they
not
don't.
about to hear about D'Lo today, bro.
Maybe they don't. I'm just talking about his general skill set. Stop being on dick, you weirdo.
Nah, shut the fuck up, nigga.
Or
I'm not hearing about D'Lo because I was hearing all your D'Lo propaganda all fucking season, Eli.
And they finish. If you want to make this about your boy, bro,
bro, nobody
can
said anything about my boy, my nigga. I'm just talking
today,
about strictly D'Lo, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Come on. Either way, that has
Please
nothing
don't
to
dick
do with
ride,
my
guy.
point. Then like I was saying, Dennis's Dennis's connective skill is the slashing or whatever, but none of them can really like take on like big on ball roles in a champion on like in a playoff setting type shit. Like you've seen it with D'Lo. If D'Lo has to constantly like attack a set defense as a scorer, he's not really capable of that consistently. He showed that with the Nets and with the Timberwolves. And like obviously like a nigga like Dennis is like such a flawed passer. It's such a flawed scorer, like in general, from a decision making standpoint. Like you don't really want the ball in his hands often anyways. And like I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but nigga, if LeBron isn't like if he's gonna have games where he's passable on defense or fine on defense, or games where he's just flat out negative, right? And he's supposed to be your quote unquote your superstar creator, nigga, then yeah, the creation load is on him, just like it's on every other creator. Like I don't see how it's like he can't create for everybody. Well, that's the reality, nigga. If you want to
Well,
win
no,
it, if you want to win a title, he is going to have to.
the only reason why I say that is because it's not like Anthony Davis isn't good enough to draw the attention to be able to create. It'd be one thing if he was on the floor and he was legitimately the only person who can gain advantages and create opportunities for others. Like he has somebody else who should be able to do that in AD. And so now it's like, all right, if Anthony Davis is not able to do that, and I mean he does it every now and then, so I don't want to make it seem like it's never that happens. But if Anthony Davis struggles in that capacity, then you're just dealing with more screen and rolls instead of post ups and just being able to just keep the defense in front of you. And in the 7-game series, I just don't think that LeBron, like just watching him, it's just clear. I don't know if he has a wherewithal to like keep doing what he did in the second half over and over and over again in the 7-game series, which I'm not going to make it official, but I agree with what Swiper said. I agree with what many of y'all saying. I mean, I am coming more on the side of like the Lakers could very well get knocked out of the first round and probably have it be done convincingly, just because it's just clear like the team may have the talent, but it's just clear that the continuity, the reps, the rotations, their ability to kind of just read off of each other, make the right cuts. Like there's a couple times even in today's game and in the other game where Troy Brown and LeBron were just not on the same page on if they wanted to cut or if they wanted to stay at the 3-point line. Like they were just off misreading each other. And in those half court sets where everything is meaningful, like you have to capitalize on these sets because especially when LeBron is trying to create again for you, you have to be able to capitalize off of that. And it's just clear like the rhythm that they're in is just not there. Going up against a team that has more chemistry and continuity, even if they lack in talent, they could probably just beat us just solely off of that alone. And even if the Lakers do make it out of Memphis, they probably gonna, especially depending on how the Warriors look, but they're probably gonna lose to the Warriors in like 4 or 5 games. Like, I just don't see how that happens.
I don't know. I'll be honest.
Respectfully, bro. We're just keeping it a hundo with each other. The Warriors are flawed too. They got like some really, really deep flaws as well. And I just think that like the legacy teams, which is the Lakers and Warriors, I think that right now, like a lot of the stuff, the stories about them that are being told is based on stuff that happened. LeBron and his ancient history, Steph Curry and his ancient and recent history with Clay and Dre, Anthony Davis and the run. But the problem is, it's like it's not just them, right? Like it's the rosters around them and the situation they are what they are. And I don't listen to Charles Barkley a lot, more for entertainment, but he did say it. Like a lot of teams think they can just go be awful or play mid or play bad for an entire season, and you just switch it on in the playoff, and you're like, all of a sudden you're a championship caliber team. And again, I think the West.
Does that apply to this roster though? This roster never got the chance to switch anything on.
This is what I think about it though. I do think that the roster's better, Eli, but I think honestly though, even with that, they never showed me a stretch of games this year, like versus the elite level teams or the good teams they would need to actually beat in the playoff, that they can do it consistently. That didn't mean they didn't do it every so often.
When did they get the chance to?
No, I'm saying, but that's my point, though. I'm saying I haven't seen that from them, and when I've seen them do it, they've done it under circumstances where, they beat the Minnesota Timberwolves, they beat the Warriors in LA. Obviously, there was no LeBron that game, and then obviously they had some other opportunities as well versus some of these lesser par teams. No, they didn't get a chance to, but with all the issues they have had, I have not been convinced that they can just do that on a consistent basis for the best of the best. And today, I think for me, this is just further evidence that they just have just as many flaws as the other teams you would consider to be between the 6th and the 9th best teams in the Western Conference.
Well, the thing is, though, wouldn't you say that?
The only reason that like I'm going to like push back against that is that would make sense and that would have like useful application if the rest of the conference was like worth something, right? Like when Lowe says they'll get swept by the Warriors, that's putting a lot of fucking onus on the Warriors, as if like they've done it what he's described, right? Like as if they've like successfully been able to play off of each other, successfully been able to consistently communicate and effectively rotate.
Eli, can I ask you a question on that?
They're a flawed team. The Clippers are a flawed team. And the two favorites, I would imagine, in your opinion, while you could argue they're less flawed, the Suns and the Nuggets are flawed teams.
But
right?
And before you go, Swiper, that's the reason why I think the Nuggets are going to go to the finals. Like everything that we're saying right now is the reason why I feel confident that they're going to go to the finals. And I just look at other teams, even if you attempt to try to pick on Jokic, the teams in which that should have the ability to do so, or especially the ones that y'all think will meet them in the conference finals, brother, the Nuggets are not going to be as pressured on their weaknesses as I think a lot of people realize, especially if the rotations are sound. Like I don't know. I look at what's going on, and in series in which players that probably should be better than what they are will more than likely be marginalized just off of silly mistakes that will be made. Or on the other hand, a team like the Nuggets, some of their players will end up looking better than what they're supposed to do just because they'll take advantages of some of the lack of continuity and chemistry from other players or for other teams as well. But what were you about to say, Swiper?
I was actually going to ask Eli, I'm thinking, and I've been wrestling with this in my mind because I'm getting ready for this like a playoff episode at the end of the week, and then on Friday, and then I have some All NBA stuff that's coming out on Thursday. Eli, do you think that with all this, I feel like I'm becoming more and more comfortable with the idea that maybe it is just the top 3 teams in the West and the East, and what we've seen all season is just what's going to bear out in the playoffs. Like maybe it is that because of the situations around it, you're going to see the Nuggets, you're going to see the Memphis Grizzlies, and you're going to see the Kings, because those have been the 3 most consistent teams. Even if you don't think like they're top end talent, the Kings are going to have 2 All-NBA players this year, and they're going to have all the confidence in the world at home, especially. They're going to have the best offense in the NBA, relative to what's happening around them. And on top of that, the Memphis Grizzlies, they're the best home team in the West as well. And maybe it is just that simple. Like those teams have clear strengths and they have less weaknesses across the board than some of the other teams that are below them. Do you think it's a possibility then that could just end up being what it is, that those 3 teams could actually be the ones that actually advance and maybe look best in playoffs because of what you've seen in the regular season?
No. I mean, I think the Suns are the second best team in the conference. Respectfully. Like I think they peak out as the second best team in the conference. And I think a good point to Memphis and Sacramento being like 3rd and 4th. I think the Warriors do have something to say about that. Like I feel tonight, like I learned that the Warriors are going to the Western Conference Finals. But if you feel like the Kings have a real shot, like they have a shot, but I think the experience
I just
matters.
don't understand how I don't understand how anyone gets like what basically what I'm saying is, right, what you just said, right? I learned today that the Warriors are going to. That's a definitive statement. Are going to make
I
it to
know
the
what I
Western
said.
Conference Finals.
Let them cook.
The Lakers, okay, cool. The Lakers lose in 4 games, 5 games to the Warriors. Like
I
I
didn't say
don't
that.
understand.
That's some.
That is low did, and I said low, right?
Swipe,
I
but what
think
you said
low
applies to the East,
over
though. I don't
exaggerated
think
on
it
that, but
applies to
like
the
Nah,
West.
those are grown men.
What'd you
I
say,
don't
think
know
when
if
Demon?
he
people,
was exaggerating or not.
I
Niggas are
think when
just.
people,
I don't
I
know
think
how anybody. I'm trying to understand how anybody has like takes that are very strong or very definitive about this conference. I don't get it. I can't.
I see what you're
The
saying, but the
West
only
is
reason
hard to
why I
map
feel more
out.
No, it's just an
definitive about that.
assertion.
But no. I'll
And
answer.
I'm asking like, why?
The reason why I say it is because even if you want to go about what the weaknesses are for the Warriors, I don't think that the Lakers have the ability to
exploit
capitalize
it.
on that
Yeah,
consistently enough. While on the other hand, the weaknesses from the Lakers that are easy to identify, the Warriors, ironically, some of their strengths are in those apartments, and so sure, like is there like for example like one of the biggest problems with the Lakers is that we have a really shaky point of attack when it comes to guards. If it's Dennis Schroeder, that means that we're going to spend more time with a potential negative offensively, and we do really bad when teams have the ability to kind of just shift their offenses from east to west instead of trying to deal with like ball handlers who go north and south, right, who go
And the
downhill.
Warriors are one of the more limited teams when it comes to like off the dribble creation.
Yeah,
At
but
least
the
tiny
problem
piece
is
of it.
that with between Curry and Jordan Poole, I actually think that they'll look way better than Curry is Curry. I think Jordan Poole's gonna look way better in that series than what he probably has looked the entire season.
I've just watched enough. I've watched enough Jordan Poole this year to not trust his decision making.
And that's fair.
For
That's
him to
fair.
consistently for him to consistently apply pressure off the dribble, and
And the other aspect is the
maybe we can't.
hiding help and knowing like making it harder for teams to kind of read where the help is coming from, which
And
is
also, I wonder how like Poole is a really good offensive player, but like in a series where you have like a jumbo creator, like LBJ, right? How like in a year where you struggle to like put together like 2-way lineups, how you deal with like LeBron pointing at Jordan Poole's man and telling him to come screen for him because he wants him to he wants to
You
attack
gotta
that.
go back and rewatch the
they
Mavs
literally
series.
what they do is
They
Eli. They
did
show high and
they
then
did
they
it.
shoot back.
I'm aware of what they did, right? They showed high, they hedged, and then they recovered, right? I watched the Maverick series, right?
Mixed in a lot of zone too.
Yeah,
1-2-2.
but they were a lot more disciplined defensively last year, and like they were a lot more rotationally sound.
I think they've shown
They
a
got
lot
two
of
of those
that.
key pieces coming
I
back.
think they've shown. I think they've shown a lot of. Okay,
Go,
one,
go,
yeah,
KB,
like
go.
The GP2 part of it is probably where like the bridge probably gets gapped
Yeah.
if it does get gapped.
Big
Like if they
piece coming
the
back.
thing is though, like what
if they are
MZ said.
if they are the best team in the West again, which is perfectly possible, I'm not denying that. Yeah, I think it does hinge on like how much value GP2 provides in his 20 minutes or 22 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever he gets.
What were you saying, KB?
I said the thing about what NMZ said about getting back GP2. I think since we got him back, like a lot of like we still have some issues defensively, obviously, that I see that we need to fix. I think a lot of stuff like defensively that we just need to like connectives wise just kind of just fell into place a lot better. I still think we do have problems, but with Wiggins coming back, and if we were to able to actually get past the first round, I would think that Wiggins is at a certain level where he's like trusted defensively, obviously, even though he's going to be trusted regardless, but even more, you know what I mean? So if we get to that point, I think a lot of the issues you guys are seeing might actually be like neutralized to an extent. I wouldn't say like all the way, but like at least some of it, right? So that they actually look much better defensively. And then on top of that, just a lot of times it's shown in series where like we haven't looked good defensively, but we'll have like a spurt of like a 4 to 5 minute stretch of really good defense, and then sometimes it's really all you need, like in a game to game basics. So like I don't know. It's sticky, but like I still trust them in terms of defense. I'm not.
I think my biggest.
I want to
thing
make a
is-
quick point to what Swiper just said though about the 3 teams in the East and the 3 teams in the West at the top of the standings. I agree with the East. I think the 3 teams in the East up top are clearly the best 3 teams, but in the West, when you said that those 3 teams probably have the least clear weaknesses, I just think the Kings have been a bottom 5 or 6 defensive unit. They don't have great defensive personnel, and their inexperience, right, with like things like attention to detail defensively, especially in a Warriors series. I just think that's a glaring weakness for the Kings. Like Memphis, I think you can go either way, but I do think there's other teams in the West that are talented. You could argue over Memphis, particularly because they lost 2 players on their front line, and I think that kind of hurts them in terms of their basketball identity. Losing Adams, who I think obviously is a great screen setter, and then you lose the offensive rebounds. Like if you have a shaky half-court offense, those extra possessions Adams gets you back, those are invaluable. And then Clark, he gave them a little bit more scheme versatility. Like I remember in last postseason, those JJJ, Clark front court lineups, really versatile. You could do a lot of things with that. And he's just one of those high motor, like springy play finisher guys that are really nice. Jaws like a good. He's one of Jaws' favorite lob targets. So I just don't think they're the same team without those 2 guys. Because now if JJJ gets in foul trouble, you're relying on Santi and
Tillman.
Xavier
Tillman,
Xavier Tillman.
Yeah,
So
Xavier
2
Tillman.
center on the front line.
They
Yeah,
also lose like a lot of like screening diversity because their 2 best screeners aren't really there. Like Tillman, and I wonder like I don't know if like Tillman and Triple J lineups work as well, as like a dual big lineups as opposed to like Clark Triple J or like obviously Triple J Steve is like the mecca for them when it comes to going
in the West for the top 3. I think the Nuggets are certainly there, and I think Memphis is arguable. I don't think the Kings are in there though. I would say I think the Warriors, Suns, and the Grizzlies are probably the 3 names after Denver that you got to put in that conversation.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
And
just I agree with MJ. I'm not really. I think the Kings are a great team. I think they have a great ceiling in the future if they were able to actually get some like more pieces, especially defensively. I'm just not really high on them in terms of a playoff setting where it's going to be a lot harder for you to get stuff off. And on top of that, like your defense has been putrid this season, so it just doesn't help neither, especially going up against like an offense like the Warriors in a playoff setting. So I'm not really that.
But
high
they do just get so much going like east to west, and they flow so well into their actions. And it's like I'm not just going to simply say this. I'm not just going to simply assume that the Warriors beat them. Like
yeah, they're gonna put up points for sure.
Yeah, no,
I think the series goes 6 games, honestly, and I think their offense is gonna be fine. I think the defense is gonna want to what I'm saying, like gonna kill them.
I don't think there's any arguing it.
You think it goes 6 games?
Yeah, I think it goes 6. It just for me, it literally all depends how that game 1 pans out. If that game 1 pans out like a Warriors win, where I see,
I think it plays out similar to Memphis series last year.
Yeah, that's
they split on the road 1-1. I think Golden State wins 2 at home. The Kings probably stave off elimination in Game 5, and then Golden State closes them out.
That's where we differ. I think.
I don't see the Kings.
Yeah, I don't see the Kings losing Game 1 either. Well, you saying the Kings? I'm thinking Grizzlies.
It could be Game 2. I'm just saying
to the Grizzlies series.
Oh, you're thinking about the Grizzlies and Lakers series?
I think the Grizzlies get out of the Lakers series. Respect to the Lakers.
Oh, you think the Grizzlies are going to beat the Warriors game 1 if they were to see
Right.
each other?
I
Yeah.
thought and that's what I thought you all were speaking on. I didn't know you were
No, but I
still
was talking about the Kings. The
Yeah.
Grizzlies series, I don't know yet. Honestly. I genuinely have
Yeah,
no idea.
I'm with you for the most part on the King series because I just think defensively, it's just not there. And then to also take into account Sabonis' foul trouble and the way that I think they can neutralize Sabonis with Dre, and even for what it's worth,
Offensively?
no, I think one of my
He's
biggest
talking
things
about like, are you
about
talking about the DHOs and
Sabonis,
stuff? Because
I think
I get what
some
you're
of the
saying.
DHOs, but also like I think it's easy to get him like I think it's easy to draw charges against Sabonis as well. And I think a heady player like Draymond will be able to do that. So I think with Sabonis, my main
Yeah, I
concern with
don't.
him is the foul trouble that I think he'll like potentially be in that series. And I think it works on both ends of the court where you have to worry about him potentially getting fouls, like and being in foul trouble. So I think that's
I
something.
don't. Yeah, I don't doubt that. Like, I don't doubt that. Draymond is a really good defender, and like putting him on Sabonis has like his tactical advantages because like Sabonis is like lack of shooting, but Sabonis is really comfortable with his handle, like, and he's like strong as an ox, right? Like, I'm not sure if Sabonis. I'm not sure if Sabonis is the type of player who you like you sag on, and I'm also not sure if he's like the type of player that you like if you're Draymond that you're pressing up on and you're forcing to use his handle because he'll counter and he'll put that offhand in you and like you're
I've
road to
seen
the
him try to
basket.
do that. I've seen him. No offense, I think Sabonis is a great offensive player, but I've seen him try to do that against Looney. Looney was able to stay with him to a certain extent. So like, if you can have possessions that are Loon to do that, then I think Draymond would
Especially
be
with
fine.
the
To be honest.
leverage that Draymond can create. I think they can win that
You
matchup.
said
Yo, let's wrap this up real quick. The final word from everybody because I gotta do a stream and I need to go to sleep, my boys. I'm working on 3 hours worth of sleep. I'll say that I'll start off. My biggest takeaway from tonight, undeniably, I'm not an ongoing theme here. Well, first of all, what an embarrassing loss for the for the Wolves, bro. An embarrassing loss for a team that was up for basically the entire game. Went on basically a 6-minute stretch in the fourth quarter where they went scoreless. And even when they were semi still alive because of Anthony Davis bailing them out, they didn't continue to struggle in overtime. And even though yes, they were underhanded, I mean the opportunity was there. And just what a really bad game from Anthony Edwards. Hopefully he kind of bounced back in the next game so they can kind of seal the 8th spot. But whoever they have to face is not going to be a cakewalk between OKC and New Orleans. So kind of keep that in mind. And in terms of the Lakers, even though I'm a fan of the Lakers and I will make my bracket soon, especially when everything kind of like settles, tonight does not fill me with any form of confidence to believe that this Lakers team is as good as potentially presented, or at least the flaws are much more exploitable than I initially thought. And the team is not prepared to counter those flaws. Every team has flaws, but how do you counter it? How do you kind of avoid teams exploiting you? And then also, can you find and exploit the other team's flaws? LeBron, in my opinion, my humble opinion, LeBron throughout his career has been the best at that. I've the games, the manipulation games, the chess that he plays, second to none. Finding the exploit on opposing teams and then constantly like dragging it down throughout a 7-game series. He's not going to have the ability to do that in every single series because of the lack of foot speed, because of the aging, because of the regression, regardless when you call it, because of the injury. And that kind of concerns me enough to really waver my confidence because I don't feel confident that Anthony Davis will be able to do those things. Sucks. We still won though tonight. Any other pressing topics? Any pressing statements before I wrap it up?
My Bulls getting a quick dub tomorrow. You feel me? We in Canada tomorrow. You feel?
Yeah, it's a wrap for tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry.
We in Canada tomorrow. We in Toronto. We gonna show niggas. We gonna shock the world tomorrow. See red.
It's so crazy how much of a bitch he is, to the point where like niggas are like, damn, the game is in Toronto. Yeah, the Bulls are gonna lose just because they know this nigga's gonna go fucking 4 for 26 or something crazy
man.
like that.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
that
man.
nigga's.
I can't even lie, bro. DeMar's about to sell the world tomorrow, bro.
But Levine got us, right?
Nah, Levine's not good enough to. I don't think any player in NBA history is good enough to outlast the DeMar disaster class, bro. I don't know if anyone's good enough, bro.
Respect Kyle Lowry.
Okay, all right, brother.
Made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
What are you talking about?
Kyle you're right.
Matched him sometimes, bro.
But that was actually just the Pacers choking and then the Heat not being good enough. So
you didn't see Kyle Lowry.
I ain't gonna lie, LeBron gets to the finals with him, bro.
Lowry in 16.
No, he doesn't,
Peak
Wes.
LeBron gets to the
he
finals
doesn't.
with him, bro.
No, he
Yes,
doesn't,
he does,
Wes,
bro.
and you know he doesn't. And if that's the player we name it, Wes, if that's the guy we name it, that's how you know that we would.
Yo, Wes, all I know is your boy better show up.
Who, Zach?
Who's my boy?
Nah, his boy.
Ingram?
His boy. Nah, I didn't say no names.
Wow.
He's talking about Russ.
I think doesn't play tomorrow.
Russ doesn't play tomorrow.
Russ is ready to.
You fucking
ready to dick you.
Ready
My
to,
goodness.
I'm
weird.
I don't know who he's talking
but
about.
Ingram.
I'm just
I mean, Ingram always plays well against. Like he kills Dort. I don't even like. If he has a bad game, it's an anomaly. Like, cause he literally feasts on Dort. So I don't know how you.
Yeah, that's the excuse I'm gonna use when Zach doesn't have a good game. It's an anomaly. So thank you for that one, Wes.
Nah, it's matchup dependent.
I thank y'all for coming out. For those who watch me on playback, we streaming tomorrow as well. Gonna continue to talk about the basketball talk, and I have to continue to stream games because I can't be just a Lakers space. Because if they lose, then I have nothing else to do. I have to continue to make money, guys. So
so we doing a Bulls space tomorrow? We move?
Oh my
shameless.
Bull space is nasty.
Shameless.
Yeah.
I mean, if they lose,
yeah.
Someone at this shit. Legend.
Do y'all not feel homoerotic when y'all niggas make the same fucking gay ass noise?
Okay.
Hear this nigga go.
All right, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow. 7:00. We watching the Bulls in Toronto.
Yes, sir.
OKC,
Zach Masterclass.
on playback.tv/Legend of Winning.
Bulls lose. Just know I'm not.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to go to Jurassic Park tomorrow just to see that nigga fold on live.
Oh man!
Right outside that
on
ring,
that note,
just know you won't see me.